What's up, everybody? It is Sunday, June the 5th, 2022. Welcome to the Zodiac Chatline. I'm your host, Tennah, and of course, the lovely Cassie with me, as always. What up, girl? How you doing?
Hey, girl, I'm good. How are you? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something. I just lied. I'm not good because I left my notebook on my coffee table. So I'm going to be extremely unprofesh.
No, it's Mercury shadow. Make it happen. Make it happen.
It's the first time I've ever done that.
It's a go. What's up, Janelle? Yeah, we see you in the chat. Hey, cuzzo. Hey, cuzzo. Yes, this is my entertainment right now. You know, y'all have fun with us. This is where we're at today. Welcome back. Welcome back. Go grab your book real quick. Thank you, Alex. She was going to.
Nailed it. So fast that I got back here before that comment even made it to the chat. So nailing it. Oh, I feel so much better. I'm good. How are you?
Girl. Okay. Well, I'm going to get into this in a little further detail, but I am amazing because it's what? Pride Month. What?
Ew.
Shout out to the lettuce, bacon, guacamole, tomato, quesadilla crew. Or the alphabet mafia. If you know, you know. But yeah, so the planets are planeting, right? They're doing the best that they can with what they got. It looks like it's okay. It's better.
It's much better. It's
smoother than May.
Yeah, it's feeling more fun up in here. Yeah.
So last week we did celebrate the new moon in Gemini, and we did also celebrate a lot of planets going where they go. So Venus moved into Taurus, Mars moved into Aries. Yeah, and then last Friday, Mercury went direct in Taurus, so all of us can hope that our communication gets a little clearer. But Saturn said, hold my rings, and said, bam, 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 I'm going to go retrograde the next day in Aquarius, so that's where we are. But I like a Saturn retrograde, especially in Aquarius, because Saturn is Aquarius's ancient ruler, and it's telling the system to be like, pew pew.
Yeah. And look within yourself, and what old systems are you holding on to that you can let go of?
Yes, and boundaries. It's going to teach you some real. Saturn's a hard boundary.
Gotta be holy. Sorry. Week 3 in a row we're talking about boundaries.
I know, right? Oh, I know. Well, maybe, honestly, if you think about it, though, that is the entire world's problem is boundaries. We are stepping over boundaries for women's rights. We're stepping over boundaries for gay rights. We're stepping over boundaries for Black people. Like, we just continue to cross boundaries. And I think that that's our biggest lesson. Like, we have to learn where they are. And, you know, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, so we already know they got their boundaries. They put whoop. So let's see, what I think that's really all that this week's
we're in luck, guys. We don't have a lot of major shit going on right now this week in the planets. We're gearing up for the full moon in Sagittarius, which is happening June 14th. And we'll also get Mercury moving into one of its home, happy signs of Gemini on June 13th. But both of those things will happen after the next show we do. This week, we're riding out, knock on wood, some mostly fun Gemini season energy. And it's a good time to
have a good time.
Start something. Have a good time. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I can't speak for anybody else, but I've been out and about a lot more recently. Tennah?
Same. I've loved being outside, although I live in the South and it is hot as shit. But I have been in nature a lot. And I've really tried to get out and meet different groups of people and find community and different smaller types of group and just have conversations with other people. You never know what you can learn just by talking to other people. And I think that that's really a good thing, is to just learn how other people think even.
Absolutely. I just finished today a really good book called Radical Kindness by Angela Santomero. And she was a protege of Mr. Rogers, works in children's television, co-created Blue's Clues, and created Daniel Tiger, which if any of you guys, and I believe Gotta Be Goldie's a mama, anybody, other parents in the chat, Daniel Tiger is coming with some fire lessons about, like social and emotional skills. And it was really, it made me feel a little less hateful toward people and a little more open-minded toward them, and I'm trying to take some of her advice about pausing before reacting to people. And yeah, so Gemini season, have fun with everyone.
So we're going to talk about pride because your girl's gay as hell and we're going to talk about that shit. That's why. That's fucking why. Because it's June, and although in the state that I live in, it's too fucking hot to have pride, so we wait till towards the end of the month. It is pride for everybody else. Shout out to all the companies that don't change their banners just because it's Pride Month. Thank you. And shout out to all the queer makers of all the things. But I did want to talk about why June became Pride Month. And it was because of the Stonewall Riots. If any of you are familiar, Marcia P. Johnson, a trans activist, leader, survivor, everything, Miss Marcia P. Johnson, she was one of the catalysts during those riots at the Stonewall Inn, when the police were radically just raiding bars and saying gay people. And this is in the 60s. And of course, it feels like we're back there again, but let's not think that. And so that kind of created the unity among queers to see the prides we have today. I've been to a ton of prides. I've even done drag and won a title at a pride, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But I appreciate being able to be out and proud, because that's just who I am. I don't need anybody to validate that. Like, that's how I be. And so we want to shout out Marcia P. Johnson and everyone that was involved in those riots that are here and no longer with us, for just making the stepping stone, like just building a small bridge for the rest of us, queers, to be able to be at least as out as we are now. So that's my queer spiel.
I love it. Thank you.
My lettuce, bacon, guacamole, tomato, quesadillas. I love that shit. Okay, so next up, before we bring on a guest, we're gonna do one last rundown of what Gemini Celebrity Check-In, because them fools always be doing something. And while Geminis get a bad rap, there are light and shadow sides to Geminis. We see that in some of the famous people that we know. We're going to talk about some of those lighter people, but we all know the shadows. But I love Gemini.
We'll touch on them too.
Yeah, literally.
Wait till the end. Yeah.
Okay, so who do you,
in honor of Pride Month,
okay,
talk about Sir Ian McKellen, who just celebrated his 83rd birthday, one of the probably greatest actors of all time at this point, stage and screen, and is going to do Hamlet at the Edinburgh Shakespeare Festival 2 days from now, because
that's what I'm saying.
Just still out here living his gay, fucking awesome life, and
as he should,
crushing it. So
that's 83,
your Gemini
girl.
King. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And Geminis always have like I would not. I mean, of course, he's a celebrity. He probably pays for really nice moisturizer and stuff. But I would not have guessed him to be that old. They have like kind of a youthful presence, So well played.
So I totally agree with that. Our next Gemini celebrity in honor of Pride Month is the Laverne Cox. If y'all don't know, where are you? Laverne Cox is a trans activist, and she's most famously known as Sophia Bursett. She is Emmy nominated for that role on Orange is the New Black. So shout out to that lovely queen, who also, yes, I'm going to tell her age because she's not ashamed, 50 this year, y'all, and looks fabulous. So we love everything that she stands for. She has stand for trans rights, gay rights, Black Lives Matter. She has just been there at the forefront. And I like admire all of those women that have, girl, not unless you smoke it. I have admired her and all the women that have come before and after her.
I'm sorry, that was a slow burn for me. That joke.
That's the truth, though. Sorry. So Laverne and everybody, even Janet Mock, and we did talk about Marcia earlier, but just all the women that have gone beyond. If anybody's seen Pose, all of them. But I am tangenting. Fun fact, though, Laverne Cox is a what? Twin.
What?
Her twin brother played her character pre-transition on Orange is the New Black in 2 episodes.
What? Wow.
Crazy.
I would be fascinated to read their charts.
Actually,
one chart, probably.
Channy read Laverne's chart. It's on YouTube.
I'm going to look that up.
That's
amazing.
I know you are. And then this is not in honor of Pride Month. This last particular person is in honor of being one of the light male Geminis that we love to stand. And that is Mr. Kendrick Lamar, this fine Compton-born gentleman who came out with the Pulitzer-winning album, Damn. And then just recently released his album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. But Kendrick has been for the people, by the people, always. His lyrics, just how he has presented his visuals, everything about, he's just super creative and, one of those mad geniuses. I'm not saying that Geminis aren't mad geniuses, but, they can use it for good or evil. And thank goodness he's using it for good.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, y'all, we've had a couple prominent Geminis in the news recently, and not for good reason. Kanye West is a famously referred to Gemini, and then Johnny Depp also a Gemini. So looking up celebrities for the check-in, like who's making noise. We had some Geminis who were having a rough.
It's giving Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
It is very much giving.
I think Goldie just came up with a science as for us. I love it. I love it. Yes, ma'am. Listen, you reading Geminis. Go ahead, girl. We love it. We are here for it.
But, my sister-in-law just had her birthday recently. Shout out to Liz.
Hey.
My kid's great-grandma, Brandon's grandma, is her birthday twin. So all the Geminis out there. Yeah, crush it. 5 generations she's got. Yeah.
See?
So, Geminis, live your best life.
Seems low-key crazy. Girl, the hot ones are, right? Isn't that the hot, crazy scale? Yeah, he is. I don't think he's low-key crazy. I think we all just have accepted that crazy. But, guys, I want y'all to sit back, relax, and get prepared, because when I tell you, we have found, it is like a chupacabra, okay? Hear me out. We have found a Capricorn that is willing to come on our show. But when I say Capricorn, y'all, when we about to tell this girl her placement, even though I think she knows, they wrote the term the GOAT for this one, because I have seen not this many Capricorn placements, but we gonna bring her on the show because listen, when I say Cassie and I are dying to talk to her, y'all, when I say this lovely person, we are gonna bring Key onto the show. And, we're going to find out how this Capricorn works with all this.
Oh, my goodness.
You weren't ready for that intro.
I was not.
Girl. Oh, my God. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You're our best case study
yet.
We are so excited. We doing what we do, girl.
Yeah.
So, what do you know about being a Capricorn? Like, what's that been expressed to you?
Very ambitious, always working, love money.
One,
Don't
two, three.
have time for anything else but money.
Thank you for making time for this, even if it don't make you money.
The goat fish, just
Is there anything about being a Capricorn that you have found challenging?
Yes. The entire journey of being a Capricorn. Saturn is not kind a lot of the time. So
It's funny you brought up Saturn. So you already know you already know what Big Daddy Saturn be about.
Yes.
Big Daddy Saturn be like, you gonna learn your lesson or not?
Yes.
So, Cassie and I, first of all, guys, I just want to explain to you that Key has 6 placements in Capricorn in the first house, which means when you see her, you see her. Okay, you know her.
7. I'm pretty sure it's 7.
Oh, is it 7?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 7.
Okay.
In her
Wow.
out of like 10, girl.
10.
So
I have never seen that. Like, I've
Never.
been doing people's natal charts since, I mean, truly, like, since before I had a computer program to do it, right? So, like, 20 years. Not continuously that whole time, but that was for sure the first time I did it. And I have never seen someone with that many placements in the same sign, and especially in the first house. Like, you're so fundamentally close to all of those, Capricorn traits.
I feel it daily.
So we saw your chart and we were like, oh, okay, we got to ask for this. So since you brought up Saturn, I was going to ask you because now we've talked about that Saturn's in Aquarius. So it used to be, Key Saturn is in Capricorn. So it used to be in Capricorn. So I would like to know, how did your Saturn return? Like, how have you grown since that? Like, what was like a couple of big lessons or a major lesson or something that you learned for your Saturn return?
Yeah, definitely one of the biggest ones, being a people pleaser, setting boundaries, even in work.
That go that boundaries word again.
Yes. Saying no, to jobs, saying, hey, I'm taking on too much. This is a lot, definitely learned a lot about karmic lessons as well. Being very intentional about where I place my energy and what I focus on, because that's a lesson. Everything is a lesson. And if I don't want to go through that lesson, then no. So yeah, those are the 2 main ones, those were the ones that were definitely kicking my ass. So,
I can only imagine with that much Capricorn energy of how much work, ambition, boundaries, and oh, you got to learn this lesson. Oh, you got to learn this lesson.
Yes.
It's almost like a back to back.
It's back to back. Yes, it is back to back. I swear. I mean, even now, I swear, every other day I'm learning a new lesson. And it's just so, downloading the information, applying it just so quick. It's just because if you don't get it the first time, that's what you're going to have to go through this over and over and over again. And me as a Capricorn, I'm like, I don't want to go through this. I don't have time for this.
You don't have time.
This is not making me any money.
I know, right? And it's all in your first house. So it's, and the first house energy, as you know, is who you are. It's very much a part of your personality, and that's a lot to take on.
Right.
Cassie, go ahead with your question, because I got sure. We're gonna get her a little bit. Go ahead.
So what I wanted to ask you about all of that Capricorn energy is what has self-reliance meant to you over your whole life? Because I can only imagine with someone with that many Capricorn placements, you probably felt that, I would guess, early in life. So I'm just curious what that journey was like.
Very, very, very early. Self-reliance. Honestly, I'm still learning how to allow other people to step in and help. I'm working on it. I'm almost there. But that control aspect, I'm very much oh, it has to be this way. I have to see it this way. It has to work out this way. And I'm really trying to learn how to just allow when it comes to other people, and just, hey, if you step in, you can step in just like this, and that's fine. I'm not going to micromanage that. You got it. I'll take it how you give it. So yeah. But yeah, it's been a struggle. I'll be honest. It's been a struggle.
I had thought that it might have been.
Yes.
And it's hard because Capricorns are great at what they apply there, right? you probably also had the experience of being able to excel at some of the stuff you did, and looking at tasks even at an early age, and as you know, I can conquer that, right? I can break that down into smaller pieces, and I can go slow, and I can do it and succeed. And seeing that, and then seeing other people struggle and know, like, oh, I could just go in and do it.
Just let me. Okay, go. Yes. Absolutely.
But it's so important to, like you said, you know, accept the help when, because you just can't do everything. And you don't,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, you don't want to also, because there's a good, something good about other people helping you is that, you know, you don't have all the responsibility either, and you can have the freedom to actually do things you like to do, although they might not make you money. So I don't know.
I'm accepting of that too. Everything does not have to make me money. I'm learning the difference between, you know, because like you said, I have been able to excel at a lot of different things, but I'm learning the difference between that's just a hobby. Just enjoy that. Like, you don't have to try to make money off of that. Like, it's okay. Just enjoy that. That makes you happy. Do that. So I'm learning to kind of engage in those type of things more than being like, oh, I gotta go work. I gotta go make this bread. I gotta go get this coin. Like, you know.
Right. That's wonderful. That's going to be so important, and it'll help you in the career too, because it'll help you be a, you know, more well-rounded person. So,
so
Capricorn,
right, girl. I'm like, thank you. We got a good one. So speaking of allowing, because you have so much energy in the first house of self, the balance comes in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. And my question to you is, how do relationships and partnerships play a role in your life?
Oh my goodness. They play a major role in my life, actually. Where do I begin? As much as I'm a Capricorn, I'm very much a lover. I'm very much like, I wanna build my relationships, my dynamics, my friendships, my partnerships. They're extremely important to me. I'm okay with conflict, but in my mind, my space, my energy, I'll do anything to just be like, let's not have that conflict, because you matter in my life more than this conflict. So relationships are a major factor in, you know, for me in my life, honestly.
That's where I find, like, if the more you learn how to balance all of your boss energy with your relationships, and like Cassie said, allowing people to be a part of your space, and allowing people to, like, what I was talking about earlier was that your 7th house is you have Jupiter in your 7th house in Cancer, which is like a lot of energy opposing all of your Capricorn energy. And Cancer is like the mom, the nurturer. And we were talking earlier, and I want you to be able to allow yourself to be nurtured. And that's a very difficult thing.
Yes.
Because it's making you extremely emotionally vulnerable. And you have to be able to, like, trust that you can, because you're a boss all the time, it'd be nice to be nurtured. So
yes,
put that energy out that you want to be able to receive nurturing.
Okay, that's an alignment. I definitely had that conversation with myself this morning. I need to be more open to receive that kind of energy. So.
Yeah, it feels like it's quite difficult for you. Like, I'm glad that you have a Libra moon and a Sagittarius rising. It softens all of the other Capricorn energy that you literally have. It's just basically like, bitch, I ain't got time for it. I mean, why are you talking to me? Like, what? Anyway,
and that's that's really how I am a lot of the times in my dynamics. I'm just like, I don't have time for that. No. I'm going to go over here. Call me Mimi.
Oh my gosh, the chat is loving you and going in on Capricorn energy. So wait, you got a question? You ready?
I do. Of course I do. Yes.
I know, right?
It's so interesting though, because you've already like answered some of these questions just because the exact stuff I wanted to ask you about, we just organically talked about, like, oh, where do you allow yourself to receive help? Turns out. Yeah. So I have a question because you are now our second guest to have Mercury retrograde in your chart, which isn't super common. It's like about 10% of people. So, and it is right there with all your other Capricorn planets in your first house. So I was wondering, especially in relationship to your the stuff we think about with your Capricorn energy, your bossness, you know, and your ambition. How have you dealt with, or where do you feel yourself being misunderstood?
Whew. Wow. I mean, I feel like I'm misunderstood all of the time.
Really?
Yeah. It's I feel like I spend a lot of time trying to show people I'm relatable. Because I think my Capricorn energy gives off this ice coldness that I don't really have. You know, I do, but not really. I feel as though I'm very personable, I'm very relatable. But I guess at first glimpse, it's just like, you know, I'm not trying to bother her. Like, what's going on with her? So,
She looks stuck up or something.
yes, exactly.
You're like,
Exactly.
no,
And
I'm
I'm
just
like,
thinking
no,
about how I'm about
right.
to make this money.
So yeah, I feel as though like as far as like being relatable, I struggle with it a lot, you know. But yeah, and specifically, I can't tell you where. It's just like all across the board.
That's so interesting too, because like with all that being in your first house, that's also very much related to your physical body. And like what you said is like, you know, literally giving off a first impression and just somebody sort of see, it's like, you probably have good posture and just are like, you know, being kind of a little serious, you know, face, although you have the Sag rising. So you,
right. So
and we can
like,
all see your adorable smile. So we know you're having fun. But to others, yeah, you may have to. And see, I don't want to tell women to work harder to be nice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was going to say, like, maybe you'll have to work harder to, like, let people know you're approachable. But also, like, fuck that. You know,
Right.
if you're, like, if you're intimidated by somebody just being who they are, that says more about you than, like, you know, me. So just, you know you.
I would just encourage you to just be like, to kind of put out the energy of more like, I'm saying this because I know I will be understood. Not that like not that you're assuming it, saying, okay, I'm gonna say this because I know, because I know what you're saying is coming from good intention. You're never saying it just to be an asshole. It may come across that way.
Thank you so much.
Like, no, it may come across that way, but even with your Libra moon, like, you genuinely aren't trying to hurt people's feelings. Like you said, you're like, you know, the people pleaser. I think that has a lot to do with your moon sign, which gives your feelings. And like, Libras are willing to be like, it's cool, let's just be diplomatic and not really like, you know, push that hard line. So try not to swing so much. You know what I mean? Like, be so like, okay, I'm like this, or be so people pleasing. Like, you can find your balance in the middle. The right people will connect and vibrate where you are, and just speak as if you're being understood.
Okay.
And if they don't understand, and maybe they not meant to understand, because sometimes, you know how you start telling somebody something and then all of a sudden you just either forget, you don't. Ancestors is like, they don't need to know. So sometimes, sometimes some people don't need to know. You need to be like, well, you're not there with me, but you have a blessed one, okay?
Okay.
You know, like they say in the South, God bless you and keep moving. So, sorry, did you want to say something?
No. I was literally going to say that's incredible. So,
how many long-term goals you got planned out?
I have a list, but I'm trying to, I'm trying to narrow it down. Like,
it's okay. I just wanted to get a good cackle because I already knew the answer, but I wanted you to hear the question and reply. Thank you, ma'am. So it's cool. Shonda rhymes. I will let me know when you create Keyland, and we will all come visit you there, because I already see. I think that's I will say I love and respect Capricorn women, Capricorn men. But Capricorn,
she is so shady. I love both. You know, I'm a sucker for a Capricorn man too, but I love Capricorn women. They're incredible.
I love my one Sam. Like, that's my Capricorn baby daddy. Like, I love him. You know, he ain't really my baby daddy, but I love that dude, you know. But what I love and respect about Capricorn women is allowing themselves to be bosses and to be like, I mean, it's cool that, like, not worrying about how successful you are.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no, you know what I mean? Like, you don't
Yeah.
worry, and you shouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump into, because we're gonna jump into your brain fart really quickly. Karmic path real
Karmic
quick.
path.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you familiar with the karmic path? I know I briefed you, but like, did that kind of connect?
Yeah, I have like a base understanding of it.
Okay, so for those of you at home, it is when it is your destiny, it's your karmic path. So your soul comes in on the south node, and those are traits that you have that we know you got, and you got to go to the north node, and those are traits that you want to learn and transform in this lifetime. Currently, the nodes are at Taurus and Capricorn, or Scorpio and Taurus. So south is at Scorpio. North is at Taurus, and we just had eclipse season with that. So your south node is at Leo, and your north node is in Aquarius in the second house. And you were born on the way of release. And I think that after talking to you, that's a really good energy for you to learn how to let go.
Okay.
Because, you know, if you think about release, it's like and the Aquarius Leo axis is all about self versus humanity and the universal group. And you have so much first house energy, and so much everything, like you are probably always undergoing like self-evaluation and like what's happening and like how this is changing. And the second house is more about material and just kind of smaller material gains. And having it in Aquarius is more like thinking outside the box and being creative and like, how can your material help the world? And I think that I know you're working on it, which I think is pretty cool. We'll talk about that later. But I find it fascinating that a Capricorn has to take the structured energy of Capricorn and try and embrace the non-structured energy of Aquarius. And this is coming from an Aquarius. We are out there. So Cassie knows. Cassie has known me for years, and we are special. So the core lesson for you is to practice unflinching and objective self-assessment. Which, listen, already look at you, evolve, like Cassie said.
Check.
Right.
One long-term goal. Check off. I didn't even know it. I love it.
Ooh, bing, bing. The goal is to let go of all that does not serve the highest and best in oneself.
Okay.
Look, working. Listen, I see you, girl. The release is the need for suffering, and the joy and the reward is the joy of forgiveness. And that's an interesting balance, because suffering can turn you into a martyr, and holding on to grudges can just turn you bitter. So,
and Capricorns are so about hard work, but remind yourself that it's okay if things are easy. Like sometimes the work you're doing is still work, even if it doesn't feel hard, you know, and then you don't have to do more. You can just be done.
You know how us Black women living in our soft energy now?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Gotcha.
If you know, girl. And then the gifts are courageous, hardy, and realistic. The pitfalls can be masochistic, long-suffering, and fixed. Your balance point is going to be retention and release. So it's like what to hold on to, what to let go of. A suggestion: work with a professional to review your strengths, weaknesses, and patterns of behavior. Be objective, but do not condemn yourself. Problems can be room for growth. Forgive and forget. Your gemstone, one of my favorite stones, absolutely one of my favorite stones, hands down, malachite. Transforms one's thinking. This mineral assists in the release of negativity that in turn allows the individual to express the highest aspect of their being. The stone affirmation is: I align my personal will with my understanding of divine will, and I move forward with clarity and confidence. Malachite is a stone to work with. It's very similar to moldavite, which it's a transformative stone, so be prepared. But I encourage you, it's a beautiful stone. It's a beautiful green stone if you've never seen it. It does kind of work towards the heart chakra a lot. And when you can open up your heart chakra, especially, as we talked about, you trying to balance out your relationships and you just really trying to be nurtured more, I think this is a great stone for you to kind of work with and really kind of take yourself to the next level after you've already gone through your Saturn return. So now, you get all the rewards. You're in the reward season. Turn up.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? So, do you have any questions? You want to ask us any other questions?
I have no questions. Everything was absolutely in alignment. Understood. Heard loud and clear.
Thank you. Won't Goddess do it? Won't Goddess do it? All right. So, we like to play a fun game called Blame It on Your Big Three. And we have found, so everybody, as we always talk about, the big three are going to be your sun, moon, and rising. He has a Capricorn sun, a lovely Libra moon, and a feisty Sagittarius rising. We love a good Sag here at the Chatline. So we decided to do Blame It on Your Big Three Supermodel Edition.
Okay.
So just pick the best one. It's all for fun. Okay, so we're going to give you the name of a supermodel, and you can tell us if she represents your Capricorn sun, your Libra moon, or your Sagittarius rising.
Okay.
Okay. Cassie, go ahead. Pick the first one.
All right. First one is Grace Jones.
I want to say Libra moon.
Oh, interesting. We had picked her for your Sagittarius rising because she's such a unique presence.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, Naomi Campbell.
Capricorn sign.
Girl,
yes.
all day. You better know. All day. Even though celebrate Naomi is a Gemini, that woman, she is the OG boss
Yes.
of the models. And we said her walk, everything, straight Capricorn sun energy.
I wouldn't be surprised if she had 6 placements in Capricorn also, just not her sun. We were torn between, okay, I'm going to go
Just pick
Beverly
it.
Johnson.
There we go.
I'm going to say Libra moon.
You are going to be correct. Yes. Classic beauty, just balanced and makes you feel good just to look at her gorgeous face.
Yeah, she is stunning.
She is stunning.
You did a fantastic job.
You win all of our love.
It's, we come up with a different game for everybody. So we try and, make it fit. And we saw all your IG pictures. So we were like, let's try this.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So what do you want to tell the world, what you want to promote, what you got going on, how they can find you, all that fun stuff?
Okay, well, you have my main page. In addition to that, I have a nonprofit that supports Black-owned businesses where I reside. It's called Atlanta Black-owned Relief. You can follow the Instagram on ABOREILIEF. We will be doing a Juneteenth campaign just to raise some more funds so we can continue to support Black entrepreneurs in our local community. So definitely check that out.
And what exactly do you how do you support the Black owners?
So we provide capital, we provide networking, we provide resources. In addition to just providing capital, we collaborate with local nonprofit organizations to provide school supplies for elementary school students. We do food drives, toy drives. So yeah.
So look at that North Node Aquarius helping the community out in a very material way, showing it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for doing that. The world needs more Capricorns like you.
Thank you.
So we're about to kick you out, but you can hop back in.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being on here. Make
All
sure you
right.
check it out. It's going to be up on YouTube probably later tonight and on Spotify. But we appreciate you, girl. We wish
Thank
you the
you.
best for the rest of this year. And, you know, while Saturn's in retrograde, we'll be all right.
Yes.
But, you know, thank you so much for taking the time, and we will talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, Key. Bye.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. The goat, you guys.
Right?
Key, the original Capricorn queen. I fucking
Nobody can
love
ever, we
it.
can never have
I
another
love it.
Capricorn on except for
I'm
her.
sorry. It's going to be really hard
Yeah,
to
yeah.
match that Capricorn
If you're trying to
energy,
come with
you
that
guys.
Capricorn energy,
You better bring
listen,
some.
bring it. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Yay.
Yes.
So guys, go check out her page. We'll probably tag it in on our page and just let you guys know. But doing good work out here.
Hell
Listen.
yes. It's
She's
amazing.
like, oh, we just do this and this and this. That was on her list of goals too, I'm sure.
But
all
definitely, like, you know, learning how to you can't solve every problem, Capricorn. We know you want to. And we know you, honestly, you could if you were given an infinite amount of years, but like, your time is finite on this earth, baby. Like, make sure you have some fun.
Yeah. Girl, especially that one. I'm like, you should like make yourself have fun at least twice a month. I'm gonna be a kid and have fun.
Yes.
So like she's like, we just saying, girl. We'll check in on you later. All right, so let's get to some of these questions. Which one you want to do first?
All right, I'm gonna, our all-star question asker at Music Lover 3889.
Love him.
My little bro, Alex. At times, can your taste in music be based on your astrological sign? What do you think?
I think certain planets. I would say like Mercury is a good one to determine musical tastes. I think that's like, how you speak, what you hear. And I think maybe your sun sign, but I definitely think it influences it. I feel like some people like to listen to sad, sappy music, and those is either earth signs or water signs. I think that, fire and air, they be rocking with the, random alternatives, or the Gemini's love skate punk. Perfect example.
That sounds right.
What do you think?
I think that again, you really need to like look at your whole chart, but I would say, like, when today and I break down somebody's chart to do a reading, we'll break down how many planets reside in earth, air, water, fire. And I would look at that and not necessarily say that it determines your taste in music, but kind of could point me toward what you use music for. If you're somebody with a lot of water sign energy like myself, you are feeling feelings through your music choices, right? And like my husband, awesome couch punk rock friend, will make fun of me kind of because I don't like listen to the words of the songs that I like for a very long time, far after I've developed a liking for them, or I can overlook lyrics if I like the way the song makes me feel for what its purpose is. Right. Yeah, exactly. Cancer. I want to be able to feel the tears or feel the rage.
What you saying?
I think air sign, if you had a lot of air sign energy, I would expect that the lyrics are probably the most important thing to you. Like you don't want to listen to anything that's not speaking to you, right? Like, and you're probably not someone who's going to go seek out like all of Adele's videos when you're feeling sad or something. Like, you're not going to force yourself down an extra rabbit hole of emotionality through music, right?
No, I listen to more. If I'm sad, I'll probably listen to angrier music. Real talk, like, I don't want to listen to more sad music. I'll just be like, but that's that Aries moon, so whatever.
I would guess
matter.
Fire signs, yes, probably derive energy from their music, and so they, fire signs are also so like body oriented. Like, I imagine they're probably dancing and working with sound that way. Earth sign people, I I mean, there are a lot of fantastic. Chelsea Shagg is coming to mind as a fantastic, Taurus musician. My father was a Capricorn, and music meant a lot to him. But I think that something like strikes a deep chord with Earth sign people with music, right? And like it's
deep, but it's the music and the words. I think for
yeah,
I think it's all of the material things.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, kind of a multi-faceted way to think about how your astrology could interact with your musical tastes. But I'm not going to sit here and say all Cancers love Megan Thee Stallion, but I'm going to say if you're a Cancer and you don't, like, what are you even doing here?
Have you heard Debbie?
Yeah, like, does she not make you feel like, just
girl?
ooh.
And Megan Thee Stallion is what, Aquarius? So listen to her words too, right?
Oh yes, and I do. Yes,
yeah. And no, she cut that. Read it real quick. Let you know. No, you had no questions after she told you everything. Right there.
All right, you want to take the next one?
Ooh, okay. I like this one. From email. Is there a significance with your sun sign being either fixed, cardinal, mutable, and the season being the same, fixed, cardinal, or mutable, easier or harder? You go first on that one.
Sure. So right now we're in Gemini season. Gemini is mutable. So our other mutable signs are going to be Sagittarius, Pisces, and who am I missing?
Virgo.
There we go. In general, I would say, like, you would hope to be in the season of the same element. So I'm a Cancer. I do well in other water sign seasons, Pisces and Scorpio. When I'm going through other cardinal sign seasons, though, those are like probably more difficult. Not necessarily. It would, again, depend on your own chart, right? Like, because you could be a Pisces who has a Gemini moon. And Gemini season might be freaking great for you for that reason, But in general, you're not forming harmonious relationships with the other signs of your same quality. They're either going to be squares or they're going to be oppositions. And those are lesson learning types of transits. That's my take. What do you think?
I mean, copy that. Pretty much the same. I mean, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm an air sign. So Gemini season is always a fucking blast for me. But but as you said, during the fixed seasons, it allows, I probably tend to be less social, I think, during fixed energy, just depending on, and especially like in Leo season, it's tricky because I get the Aquarius full moon in Leo season. And so everything is opposing my sun all during that season. So it's a lot of give and take. And I don't really like to give. So I'm just kidding. I've had to set boundaries on that giving. But I think that I appreciate those aspects. I appreciate being able to go through different times because it's like, stagnancy feels no bueno to me. And I like to have challenges for growth. I think it just makes life more sparkly or entertaining, whatever for the moment.
We need it. We have to keep doing different things. Otherwise,
this plastic clip season was some bullshit, but
yeah, I didn't necessarily need all of those lessons all at once, but thanks. Also, I would say in general, a good thing to do to know like what is going to be a good season for you is look at where Jupiter is in your chart. Usually wherever Jupiter is, that's kind of a lucky time of year for you. And you can look to the other signs of the same element. So if you have Jupiter in Aquarius, all the air sign transits are going to be good for you. Aquarius season being the best. Ooh, question for the chat.
Rachel, I don't know what the rest of it is. Hugin. Oh, Rachel Hugin. She says, do you find that certain astrological signs are more introverted and extroverted? Absolutely.
Definitely.
Cassie and I, while we are very different in signs, we are very similar in introvert extrovert energy. This is extroverted for us. Once these cameras off, I promise you, we're probably the most introverted people you ever meet, which doesn't. But I do find that fire signs tend to be quite extroverted. And most, I would say Gemini and Libra out of air signs. I think Aquarius tends to just do its own thing. Who would have thunk?
Mm-hmm.
I think water signs.
Mostly introverted. Cancer is
But
going to be
yeah,
your most extroverted
I was about to
one.
say, yeah, Scorpio is like the introvert quality. And then for earth signs, I think Taurus was probably the most extroverted.
Agreed. Yeah.
And then
followed by Virgo, I would
Capricorn,
say. Yeah.
right? And then Capricorn is probably the most introverted, but luckily she has that balance.
Yeah,
it's all I love, you know.
I feel like Cancer and Aquarius are very similar in the whole introverted extroverted thing, where they're like they're the reverse of each other, because Cancer, being a water sign, shouldn't want to be extroverted, but it kind of does, but it still needs its alone time. And Aquarius, being an air sign, should want to be extroverted, but it doesn't. It still needs its alone time. So they're very like a marriage of extroverted and introverted. And I felt that way my whole life. Like I've gotten over FOMO as I've gotten older, because I realized I just don't want to be invited. I would have been annoyed to have to go in the first place, but I used to really struggle with that.
That mean when you're like, ooh, you made plans, and then by the time it comes, somebody called to cancel. Girl, I was already in the bed. Like, you know, I'm a quick, like, people make plans, and I usually that day of, hey, we still doing this? Because me in the bed can be, listen, I don't know about y'all, but at a certain age, you realize that is a luxury. So,
yes.
but she said, yes, just don't invite. I mean, for real, like, you know that saying, like, oh, I'll let you know if I'm gonna show up. They not showing up. They not coming. No. They not coming. They just told you. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, if you don't get a hard yes from me on the first try, don't ask again.
Right. Yeah. Don't follow up after that. Just, no.
But I think that's a great question. Yeah, I think, and I also think that we were talking general sun signs, but I just also think it's the amount of what you have in your chart. You know, so there could be a Cancer with a bunch of Gemini and, you know, Aries energy, and that is some extroverted ass energy. You know what I mean? So it just all depends.
Yeah.
You know yourself, and sometimes, you know, it's not even your sign. Sometimes you just an introvert or an extrovert. You know.
Facts.
So we're getting to, look, Cassie knew what was happening. Look, me and Cassie are psychically connected all the time. But anyway, and doing this show, I think, has increased it because of all of the things that have happened. But anyways.
Listen, we are literally putting our like ears and our brain vibes into these devices and into the other one's head. There's no way we're not sharing mental space right now. All of this is energy too.
Energy. All right, y'all. So we're going to bust out one of my favorite decks, one of Cassie's favorite decks, and the Animal Spirit deck, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit by Kim Kranz. I love this deck, and I'm busting it out because Geminis remind me of chameleons, and they could be any animal, and they can change. And plus, these cards always give great advice.
I hope Janelle's still in the chat. Right. Gotta be Goldie. I know is a Kim Kranz stan.
Probably not boundaries. We'll see what pops up. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. Somehow it's just a fence. We're like, wait, how did you even get in here?
The new deck coming out next month. I know. I'm so excited. All right, Cassie, I'm going to show it to you because you're going to be excited. We got the perfect one. I know, right?
And in Pride Month, no less.
Girl, y'all see that? We love the unicorn. Okay, guys, I'm trying to find it in the book. Give me 1 second.
Oh, she's way in the back.
I know. I think it's like the last ones. Black egg. There she is. Yeah, she's the. Okay, yeah. Listen. Okay, y'all ready? The unicorn. Reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago. The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our unwavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experience. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn and you have begun your quest for the answers. The unicorn does represent the sixth chakra. It's no surprise the subtle essence of the unicorn card resides at the third eye, the exact place from which the unicorn horn extends. This center is called the Anja chakra or command center. The ancient yogis believed it to be responsible for our intellect, intuition, and deepest wisdom. Some say our two eyes see the past and the present, while this third eye peers into the future. Yes, sounds fun. Let our curiosity play. If that's not Gemini energy, I don't know what is. Get it here, guys.
Love it. Mm-hmm.
Always. We love it. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Cassie, girl, this was a good one.
Yes.
This was fun. This was much more upbeat than the other ones we had, so I love it. Keith, thank you so much for being a guest. But yeah, this was
Thank you all for joining us, being fire in the chat as always. Mwah.
We love that. We love that. Guys, as always, it's all love. And you know what it is. Peace.